Bharyayai kamaya bharya priya bhavati. Atmanastu kamaya bharya priya bhavati. A husband is not dear to the wife for the sake of the husband. He becomes dear for her own sake. Her insecurities, her fears make him dear to her. And the wife is not dear to the husband by the same token because of who she is. She is dear to him for his own sake, his insecurities, his fears, his need for some kind of a, comfort, companionship, whatever it is. That is why she becomes dear. And he goes on because all these things have to be told specifically. The children don't become dear for the sake of the child. Nobody thinks the child is delightful. The children become delightful for your own sake. So everything, Atmanastu kamaya, he concludes at the end, Sarvam priyam bhavati. Everything is delightful to you because the self, you are already delightful. So it's a value-added delight. And if this you, as all delightful, is not known, then one is sad. The Jnani knows this I as the source of delight and therefore does not seek any other source. If something comes along, the Jnani will enjoy it. If not, there is no repentance. This can become a sadhana for the people who are what? Jnani wannabes. Yeah. Either one is a Jnani or one is a Jnani wannabe or a Jnani gonna be. Yeah. What other is it? That's all it is. Everybody is in the process of knowing and process of wanting to understand this. And so, for the Jnani soon to be, for the Jnani who wants to, for the person who is wanting to be a Jnani, this becomes the sadhana. And what is the sadhana? Understanding that I am the source of, delight. But I don't quite get that, I don't quite understand that. And until this understanding comes, first what to do is to have the Shraddha in the words of the Bhagavad Gita and the Upanishad. This must be true. And the second thing on the level of practice is to practice suspending these wants and fancies, even when they are fancies. But how to suspend them? Delay the gratification. Yeah. That is a very practical way. I want this now. Well, let me think about it tomorrow. I want it yesterday. Let me sleep over it and think about it. And in fact, psychologists are saying, in terms of parenting practices, this delayed gratification makes the children into better adjusted adults. Into adults who can stand to wait. Into adults who can stand rejection or not having something. And knowing that life is not always about immediately getting what you want. You can't always have what you want. So, and then, so in order to be happy, what? You have to do with whatever there is. This is where India and America are complete opposites. In India, it is the thali culture. Yeah. You go to a restaurant at lunchtime, no choices. One big plate with a lot of cups is put in front of you. They don't say, did you want this? Did you want that? How would you like your coffee? Even a simple question of coffee here is so complicated. Yeah. Oh, forget that. Caf or decaf first? Caf or decaf? Okay, just coffee. No, caf or decaf? Okay, caf. With cream, without cream. With cream. Okay. Then, how many creams? How do you count cream? Okay, because it's in packets in this country. And then how many sugars? With sugar, without sugar? With sugar. Okay. Do you want equal? Do you want Splenda? And what else is there? Sweet and something. Sweet and low. What do you want? Now new one is there, stevia. And then one more is there. Do you want monk fruit? Do you want coconut sugar? Do you want date sugar? You know? By the time you stop wanting coffee. Yeah. By the time it is all through. And then after you decide which sugar, how many sugars? You know? This is what this culture is. In India it is called a thali culture. One plate with several cups, no choices. You have to eat. You know? And if you go at breakfast time, whatever, breakfast is for breakfast. You know, whatever they have made in the restaurant. Just like the house. You know, you can't go there and say, I would like to have chutney and sambar. Hold the idlis because I'm on a keto diet. They will say, what is wrong with you? You won't even know how to bill you. Yeah. But here it is possible. I'll have the salad but no dressing, or dressing on the side. You know, this itself shows what is the difference between the two cultures. The Indian culture, the Hindu Dharma, the culture springing from the Hindu Dharma in India, is a choiceless culture to make, it is designed to make one well on the road to be the jnani that one wants to be. It's a no-brainer. And every mother in India knows this, you know. Whatever is there, whatever is made is put in front of the child, you know. And then the mother will also feed the child. The child is taken out because feeding the child is a messy affair. Look at the tree, look at the crow, look at the doggy, look at the birdie, you know, few things. She just keep going inside. Here we have a very strange way. The child is tied to a chair, very high, and it's crying its head off, and you know, one is pushing the food with a stick. Very different.
Or put the TV.
Yeah, or put something mindless. There it is a very mindful way of, you know, being. But a choiceless being. And if the child says, I don't like this, I'm not eating, the mother is not so worried. Okay, for lunch you will definitely love lunch if you hated breakfast. No problem. You know, this is what the whole thing is. Here, you know, I was once seeing a mother with her 2-year-old. And I was early there, I had gone for bhiksha. The child had not been well, it woke up late, you know, not even 2, just starting to talk. And then she bathed the child, brought it out, and then, you know, took it to her room, asked me also to come. Full wardrobe is, you know, full of clothes. And she asked the child, what would you like to wear? You know, and then the child picks something, does, you know, whatever, and then makes it wear the frock, comes to the kitchen. What would you like to have for breakfast? Cereal or pancakes? It says pancakes. Then I had a doubt. I said, change it and say pancakes first and cereal, let's see what happens. No, she likes pancakes. I said, no, definitely, just do it, I'll just do it on a whim. So then just for me, she said, would you like pancakes or cereal? The child said cereal. Yeah. It's very clear, whatever is coming at the end. Because I saw that even in the wardrobe. Because she said, would you like to wear jeans or a frock? Frock. If she had said it the other way, she would have said this. You know, this is not a bad thing. I'm not saying that, you know, it's a bad thing. In a way, growing up in this country perhaps helps one to have, a certain individuality and a kind of a, identity, self-esteem. That's important. But, these two cultures are completely opposite. Here, that is taken to a great extent, and there also, it's taken to a completely, the choicelessness is taken to a completely different extent. And so, we are looking for a place and a way of being that is a happy medium, where one is mindful of the fact that too many choices are actually oppressive. It stops one from going with the flow. It stops one from just being and enjoying the being, rather than wanting something different than what there is all the time. That gets exhausting. And that goes far away from the jnani that one wants to be, that one is, dying to know and understand. And therefore in India, it's a culture that is already ready to discover oneself as free of choices naturally. We learn to be with what is. Whatever is it's okay. It's okay. It's not a big deal. Because we know, okay, I didn't have my way today. Tomorrow I can get my way. And then like this, tomorrow, the whole life goes. Then also it's okay because there is another life. No Hindu should have a bucket list because there's nothing to fulfill. Really, there's nothing to fulfill. Because, when the person, passes away, in the Hindu culture, they say a blessing to the spirit that is left the body, leaving the body. In this life, you may not have had whatever you wanted. May you have exactly what you want in the next life. That is the blessing. Everybody, all the living people give this blessing to the departing soul, happily. I may not have been a proper son or daughter for you, or a proper spouse for you, a proper friend for you. May you get that in your next life. This is something very comforting, that there is no rush to fulfill all these desires. Most of them are nonsensical anyway. And all the things that you buy end up in the garage. Yeah, all the garages are just, filled with all kinds of rubbish. And then every year you obligingly have a sale and everybody comes. All the neighbors come and buy all the things you don't want. So it goes from one garage to another garage. That's all it does. One time one lady had given somebody in the neighborhood one Christmas present. The other lady detested it, could not handle this. And then, she put it in her garage, forgotten even that the front neighbor, the neighbor whose house is opposite her house had given, she forgot. 1 year later, she put it out in the garage sale. That lady came to the garage sale, saw that her present was out for sale, was so outraged that she paid and bought it back. So she paid twice for that thing. Yeah. Once to give it to that lady and next because we had to take it from her. Crazy, And so this way, somehow, see, all the answers are in the culture, in the ways of our elders, Vriddha Vyavahara, in what they have taught us, in the dharma that surrounds all these things. We are not trying to control the desires. We are trying to have a healthy relationship with the fancies and the desires so that they don't overwhelm, they don't take over. So these two, definitions of a jnani. The first one is what? Prajahati yada kaman sarvan partha manogatan. Sarvan manogatan kaman prajahati. The one that gives up all the desires even as they arise in the mind. And the second one is what? Happy being who they are. Happy being who they are. And you see this, even without, Vedanta study, one can get to this place of a certain relative shanti and a relative self-contentment, because of which one is then ready to study Vedanta Shastra, which is the mirror of, that talks about the truth of oneself as free and what? Free, naturally free of being a desiring person, a wanting person, and someone who is non-demanding, appreciative and contented. Thank you very much. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om